Welcome to Endgame Club. This is going to be round 5 of our first Saturday tournament. Standing so far after 4 rounds was Frentz and JT Breeze in the lead at +2, and Other Rook chasing him at +1. Also Celtics at par. Buckeye also at par, had to withdraw. And then Fablehaven and Elton a little below par. Any particular endgame, of course, can always be a challenging par, so it might say, white should win this, but it's sometimes not so easy. It's also our first week, so don't worry too much about the exact thing. Is Fablehaven? Oops. Fablehaven seems to have temporarily. Well, we'll see how that goes. 5-7, that's me against Other Rook, so I'm going to go ahead and start that. Okay, Other Rook. So 7-5, yeah, that's right. There we go. Oh, this is, I do remember, this is going to be an exciting game. Pretty cool game, Alekhine Capablanca. Hopefully we can get the game going with Other Rook in just a moment. Sorry, I don't know why this stuff is all... There we go. Pardon me. Okay, there we go. Good luck, and make sure everybody else is doing okay. There we go. Alright, so to the chess. This is a rook endgame. Show you from the protagonist's point of view. King and rook and pawns. 3 pawns against 3 on the king side, but with an extra pawn on the queen side. So that's the battle, is to maybe try to queen that extra pawn or use it somehow as a decoy. The king and rook position, so white has a chance to play rook a4 and get his rook behind that pawn. It's possible also to try rook d5. Don't think that is as good. And then I'll show you my point of view. So I have the black pieces. Somebody has to block that pawn. Okay, certainly the number one thing, you cannot let him make a queen, right? So usually you would blockade the pawn. Watch out. So I have to do two things. I have to stop the A pawn from making a queen. But I have to also watch the other pawns and make sure I don't lose the game on the king side. So for example, if my king and rook both go over to A5 maybe, and somehow I capture the A pawn but I lose the other pawns. Anyway, okay, so here we go. It's tempting to put my rook behind the pawn. That would be the desired place. The rook should go behind the pawn. Also, you notice he can't push the pawn. Always watching the... Don't let the guy push the pawn. Right, unless you need to. But so, I've got rook takes A6. So, I've got that under control. And then, I should be able to play rook C2 and rook A2 before he can do anything. Yeah, let's do it. Check, check. Okay, the other thing is you want king position. Always want king position.
Check.
So this does two things for me. I'm going to bump his king back away from my king and then get behind his pawn. Now, he can play rook b6 and pawn to a6. We gotta
check.
Be careful. I'm gonna go after this square. I like this king position. Although, that lets him play rook f6, which could be really bad for me. I'm gonna be careful. Okay.
Check.
Let's do that. And yeah, one thing I do not want is to allow rook to f6 and then just destroying my kingside pawns, right? That is not worth it. Okay. Shoot. This is, by the way, not that simple. This position was analyzed again like 10 years ago. This is from 1927. I believe there were some aspects of this. I think I need to control f6. I'm worried about this. So anyway, now the pawn's only on the 6th rank, so I can possibly move my rook off and come back. There's different things you can do. In principle, if I could take 2 or 3, maybe all of the kingside pawns, I could even sack my rook and still make a draw. Different things, but since his pawn is only on a6, yeah, I thought he might do that. So it's tempting to play king e4, rook f6, rook takes g3, takes f7. That should be good, actually.
Time warning.
Let's try it.
Check.
Oh, he's not going to let me. Oh, that's interesting.
Check.
Okay. No, this may be tough. I'm gonna flag. Good game.
Check. 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 Check.
Well, thank you for watching the video. Sorry, I almost forgot. And yeah, interesting game.